The Food and Drug Administration is warning consumers of potentially contaminated vegetables. The agency says Weir's Farm is expanding its recall of cucumbers to now include more produce. Peppers, green beans, and squash sold in Walmart and Aldi locations are on that list. The FDA says the cucumbers were linked to a listeria outbreak.
Imagine walking into your local supermarket, ready to fill your cart with fresh, healthy produce for your family. The displays are vibrant, the prices seem right, and you trust that what you're buying is safe. But what if that trust is exactly what these grocery giants are counting on and exploiting? In this video, we're exposing the 5 grocery stores where employees say you should never buy produce. Some of these will absolutely shock you, especially number 1, which is quietly putting your family's health at risk while you think you're being a smart shopper. Chances are you've bought from there before, so stick with me until the very end, because even avoiding just one of these stores could save you hundreds of dollars and a ton of regret in 2025. And hey, before we jump in, tap that like button and subscribe to Informed Shopper, your go-to spot for saving smarter, shopping wiser, and avoiding the traps big stores don't want you to notice. Let's dive in. Dollar General, the produce gamble. Every shopper knows the thrill of finding a bargain, especially at places like Dollar General and Dollarama. But when it comes to fresh produce, that deal might not be as sweet as it looks. Walk into any dollar store and you'll see bins of apples, oranges, and maybe even some strawberries. It's tempting to toss a few into your cart, especially with prices that beat the big grocery chains. But here's the reality. Most of the produce at these stores is already fighting an uphill battle before it even gets to you. Many employees quietly admit that fruits and vegetables often arrive already soft, sometimes leaking, and rarely as fresh as you'd hope. The reason? Dollar stores don't have the same refrigeration or fast turnover as traditional supermarkets. Produce can sit out at room temperature for hours, sometimes even days. That means by the time you see it, it's been through a lot, and it shows. What's really going on behind the scenes? Dollar stores often stock what's known as opportunity produce. These are the leftovers from major grocery suppliers, the fruit and vegetables other stores didn't want, usually because they're close to their expiration date or have small imperfections. So, that bag of apples or carton of berries on the shelf is already on borrowed time. It doesn't help that most dollar store produce sits out on open shelves. Customers squeeze, poke, and handle each piece, looking for the best ones. Every touch can transfer bacteria or spread mold, making the problem even worse. Without proper packaging or cold storage, these fruits and vegetables just don't stand a chance. For shoppers who want to save money, this is frustrating. You want value, but you also want food that's safe and good for your family. Unfortunately, the reality is that dollar stores simply aren't set up to handle fresh produce the way bigger supermarkets are. Their supply chains are built for shelf-stable goods, not perishables. But the best advice? Get your fresh produce elsewhere if you can. Your wallet might thank you in the short term for saving a buck, but your stomach and your peace of mind will thank you even more for choosing quality and safety. Dollar stores are great for many things, but when it comes to fruits and vegetables, it pays to be picky. After all, a real bargain is something that's both affordable and worth bringing home. When it comes to produce, sometimes it's smarter to walk past the deals and shop where freshness comes first. Aldi. Discount produce with a side of regret. Aldi's produce section is a magnet for bargain hunters, but those low prices often come with hidden strings attached, especially if you care about freshness and quality. Here's what most shoppers don't see. Aldi keeps its supplier list short to save money. That might sound efficient, but it leaves stores with no backup plan if a shipment is subpar. As one produce manager put it, "We get exactly what we get. If the tomatoes last, cool. If they rot, they rot." There's little room for quality control, and if a batch comes in bruised or overripe, it's still going on the shelf. Some of Aldi's fresh fruits and vegetables have actually been frozen and thawed before they reach you. When there are shipping delays or storage issues, produce like berries and green beans can end up spending time in the freezer. Once they're thawed, they look fine at first glance, but the taste and texture suffer. Think mushy strawberries or limp beans that spoil almost overnight. Aldi employees have shared that it's common practice to mix older, unsold produce with new stock. If half a box of apples is bruised or soft, staff are still expected to fill the display with whatever's left. For shoppers, that means you might be picking up fruit that's already on its last legs, hidden beneath a layer of fresher-looking items. Packaging is another weak spot. Aldi uses thinner plastic bags and flimsier containers than most other grocery chains. Split bags, cracked clamshells, and loose seals are a regular sight. This kind of packaging doesn't protect produce from bruising or spoilage, and it certainly doesn't help it last longer once you get it home. More often than not, your deal turns into waste. Taste and consistency are also hit or miss. In taste tests and consumer panels, Aldi's produce often ranks at the bottom. Tomatoes can be tough and flavorless, strawberries may turn to mush in a day, and cucumbers lose their crunch in record time. The savings might be real, but so is the disappointment when your produce spoils before you've had a chance to use it. Aldi's rock-bottom prices are tempting, but when it comes to fresh produce, it pays to be cautious. The real value comes from knowing what to buy, what to skip, and how to spot the difference between a true bargain and a hidden headache. For shoppers who want to save money without sacrificing quality, a little extra vigilance goes a long way. Whole Foods, the organic mirage. Whole Foods built its reputation on beautiful, high-end produce displays and the promise of quality that justifies its whole paycheck nickname. Shoppers expect more than just groceries. They expect freshness, trust, and a little bit of luxury in every cart. But behind those polished apples and tidy rows of leafy greens, there's a different story playing out. Employees have shared that keeping up appearances sometimes means using food-safe oils to shine up fruit that's already past its prime. The apples and pears might look flawless, but that shine can hide the fact that they're well beyond their best days. Recent health inspections have caught Whole Foods falling short on basic freshness and safety. There have been findings of expired produce stored in back rooms and temperature controls not being properly maintained. Even insiders admit that what's in the cooler often doesn't match the store's carefully crafted image. Customers are noticing the decline too. Reports of old, moldy, or damaged produce have become more common, with many longtime shoppers saying the quality isn't what it used to be. Some have found themselves tossing out organic cucumbers or avocados just days after purchase, and others have discovered moldy or bug-infested vegetables right at home. Even employees have commented on the pressure to keep displays looking full, sometimes at the expense of quality. Whole Foods' focus on appearance isn't just about marketing, it's about meeting the expectations of shoppers who want the perfect tomato or apple. This obsession with looks means that plenty of perfectly edible but slightly imperfect produce gets tossed out, adding to food waste and making it harder for shoppers to know what's truly fresh. And while the store promotes its organic and local options, some workers have pointed out that local can be a stretch, and that the organic label doesn't always guarantee better quality or freshness. At the end of the day, Whole Foods still offers a wide variety of produce, but the real value comes from shopping with your eyes open and not just trusting the store's image. The best way to protect your wallet and your health is to be a careful, curious shopper, no matter how beautiful the display. Walmart. Their savings may cost your health. Walmart's produce section is designed to impress, big, bright, and overflowing with every fruit and vegetable you can imagine. But behind that colorful display, the reality can be a letdown for shoppers who want both savings and quality. Many Walmart produce workers have described a troubling pattern. Instead of removing aging or bruised fruits and vegetables, staff are often told to simply rotate the stock, hiding the worst items underneath the best-looking ones. The unspoken motto? If it's not leaking, it's selling. This approach keeps the shelves looking full, but it means that what you see on top isn't always what you get when you get home. Secret shoppers and everyday customers have found mold, bruising, and signs of decay in everything from bagged salads to prepackaged berries and green onions. It's not uncommon to find rot or mildew at the bottom of containers, even when the top layer looks perfectly fine. Employees and shoppers alike have noted that the quality of Walmart's produce can swing wildly from week to week. One day you might find crisp apples, the next, wilted lettuce and bananas that are already overripe. Walmart's constant misting system, meant to keep greens looking fresh, can actually make things worse. Too much moisture encourages mold growth and can mask wilting or spoilage. As one employee joked, the only thing those sprayers are growing is mold. The underlying issue is Walmart's focus on volume and low prices. Produce often travels long distances to reach Walmart's shelves, so it's already lost some freshness by the time it arrives. Cost-cutting measures mean there's less attention to quality control, and the pressure to keep the shelves looking full can outweigh the need to remove questionable items. Albertsons' produce section might catch your eye with its neatly stacked greens and polished apples, but there's more to the story than meets the eye. For many shoppers, especially those who've seen grocery trends come and go, the real concern isn't just how produce looks, it's what's happening behind the scenes. Many customers expect that a store as established as Albertsons be on top of food safety, especially when it comes to produce recalls. But the reality is less reassuring. When dangerous recalls have hit like those involving Listeria or E. coli, Albertsons has been slow to alert shoppers. There have been cases where recalled lettuce was still on the shelves days after the warning went out, and only a handful of stores bothered to post any signs at all. For a chain that prides itself on customer care, this kind of delay puts shoppers at unnecessary risk. The pressure to keep shelves looking full often outweighs the priority of keeping customers informed. Former store employees have shared that recall notices from corporate can sit for days before anyone posts them. The goal is to keep the produce section looking abundant, even if it means leaving potentially dangerous items out for sale. For anyone who's ever trusted that a store would pull unsafe food immediately, this is a real wake-up call. Even the technology that's supposed to keep produce fresh doesn't always work as promised. Those misters that spray a fine dew over the lettuce and greens, they're often broken. One day the lettuce is bone dry and wilting. The next it's so soaked it's practically swimming. Instead of fixing the problem, staff are often told to leave it be and hope customers won't notice until they get home. It's no surprise then that Albertsons racks up more produce-related complaints than any other major chain, double the industry average. Shoppers have reported everything from spoiled vegetables to poor customer service when trying to resolve issues. Refunds promised for bad produce sometimes never arrive, leaving customers frustrated and feeling misled. There have also been recent recalls of frozen vegetables sold due to risks like Listeria contamination. While there haven't been reports of illness in every case, the risk is real, especially for older adults and those with health concerns. The advice from health experts is clear. If you buy frozen or fresh produce and hear about a recall, don't take chances. Return it to the store for a refund or throw it out. So how can you protect yourself and your loved ones? Don't rely on the store to alert you about recalls. Take a moment to check recall lists online before you shop. In the store, choose produce that's stored in dry, well-lit areas, and opt for whole, uncut items over anything pre-sliced or bagged. Inspect each piece carefully for signs of spoilage or damage. For many seasoned shoppers, saving money is important, but not at the expense of your health. When it comes to produce, a little extra caution goes a long way. Safeway may offer a picture-perfect display, but smart shoppers know to look beyond the surface and shop with care.